I like a uniformity, but I don't like everything sounding the same. I like an instrument to sound the same. I love hearing a matched pair of Telefunken V72s and a pair of Peluso P28s on an acoustic guitar, for example. I love that matching, consistent pre's, consistent microphones on one instrument, but I wouldn't necessarily want to record a whole band with that same sound. It kind of gets sterile to my ears. I don't like it that much. I've never heard a console yet that thing that just made every instrument individual. They just always have a certain sound, and it always translates on every track, and some people love that. I don't particularly like it. So that brings us to why I'm so crazy about these AEA pre's. I use them more as a line level EQ and roll off and support and a fine tuner for a lot of these old vintage preamps that I have. These are old 601 Ampex pre's that have been highly modded. I use those things a lot, but they're way too thick on a lot of program material. So what you need to do is thin it out a little bit, and I hate doing it in the box. I'd much rather, and that's the convenience of having a console, and many could argue that fact, but for me, being able to use that pre and going into a console is sort of redundant, where this isn't. I can fine tune what this is doing and go straight in, and it be as clean as I want, and very individual for that particular instrument. The setup that I have kind of right now would be what I would use on an upright bass. There's an RCA 44 and a mic tech mic, and I have them rolled off accordingly. I have the ribbon on the bottom of the upright, and it's super fat, and it's too fat sometimes. So I'll roll that high pass filter back until it just is thumping and it's clear and has big body, and I'll high pass the top mic a lot more, so I'm not getting the rumble and around 200 that is so famous to have in upright basses. So that's where I can get the tone of using those old tubes and that old UTC input and output transformers, and just the tone of the old gear, which in my opinion hasn't been surpassed yet. I can use that with something that is like the AEA that I can control. I can feed exactly to this RCA 86 exactly the level that it needs to be working at optimum, as if it were 1950 and Frank Sinatra was singing on that microphone. And to me, that's an important factor to have, and it's so small, it doesn't take up a ton of space in my studio, which is a smaller place. And to me, there's nothing that's beat it yet.